Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Jim. How are you? Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our RTH regular trading hours for our Microefutures live stream from our room. Happy Friday. Hope everyone is well. I'm good, Jim. Good, good. Ready for the weekend. Ready for the weekend. And here we are testing that overnight low. Okay, let's go through it from top down. Hey, ZR1, how you doing? Hey, Kevin, Supra, Raj, Jiraj, how you guys doing? Good to see everyone. Hey, Christian, how are you? Let's take a look and see what we've got going as we head into the weekend. So, overnight inventory is short. Okay, this is a simple one. There's the close, and you can see the bulk of the volume is below the previous day's close. We've had some corrections higher, but they sold into the correction. So inventory corrected up, there were sellers waiting to hit it, waiting for a better price to sell. So now we're back down. We're putting in a new overnight low, 57.04 and a quarter is a big level for me. 02 and a quarter is also another sort of a medium term level. This is a long term level. And that is the middle of this zone from 58.25 down to 55.84. That's the middle of that zone. So we're looking to see now if the market comes back into this cost basis where the inventory was before that gap up into distribution, now into a liquidation to, basically what we're doing is the market's on sale back to where all the product was purchased. Okay. Now, I unfortunately had month end wrong. I thought yesterday was month end because I thought today was the last day of the month. It's not. Monday is the 31st. So let's see what happens. I got to say, I'm a little short biased. Okay. Because as markets started to open, I noticed we started to sell. As the US started to wake up, So we had this nice inventory correction all the way back up to 5704, and then they sold into it. So that tells me that there's sellers up here, and that's natural. If there are sellers, the people who are buyers on month end are generally short sellers who are trying to cover, and they will try and cover as cheap as they can. So I've got a couple of references to the downside. I've got the value area high from the 21st. It's right at 5,700. We'll go mark that 5,704. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to look lower. If we break underneath 5,700, ladies and gentlemen, look for that stop at 5791. And I'll mark the stops for you just in case. Okay. So 5790 and a half, 5688 and 58687 are our lower stops. Okay, just be careful. If we get accepted under the overnight low, don't try and stand in there and buy it, okay? Let it fall. Let the size traders find the bottom for you. Yeah, party was over. Hey, Info Risk. Hey, Zazu. All right. Good morning, guys. Good to see you guys in the room. So, let's see what our next moves are. And the way that I like to do that is I like to look at the 1 minute candles. Our You can see VWAP is here at 57.28, and we're now in the 4 times discount zone. So there's that 57.11. Right. I'm not comfortable trying to anticipate along. That's not really like how I like to do business. I like to see the sell orders complete. And right now, I don't see the sell orders complete as yet. So what we do is we like to let the market work out the low. Let it open, especially if a market opens on a low. You just want to let the market put the low in, get some sideways motion. How do we trade around that? Well, we have a method here at Microefutures. Oh, look, a bid. Oh, hello. I guess they heard me. Okay, somebody dropped a size order. So much for going lower. Wow. Maybe a little bit of news. Maybe a little bit of news. Pretty interesting. I'm curious to see how much volume. 15,000 contracts. That's interesting. Okay, let's see if we open above or below yesterday's low. All right, so let's see if we open on a gap or not. Somebody must have tweeted something, a little bit of news. Hey, it's a thin order book, folks. You drop any kind of size. Tariff. There you go. And this is why you have to trade with stops. If I was shorting looking for lower, right, I would have had I would have had a 14 stop because that's where the X high was at the time. Okay. And we just took that right out. This is why you don't trade without stops. You have a 1 minute candle from 14 to 24, 25. You don't want to take that kind of heat. Notice how the market is staying bid above where the sellers were. Yeah? Now, if you're joining our stream on YouTube and you don't know what I'm talking about, don't feel bad because what we do in our room is we look and see the mechanics of the trade. So you had that look at the inventory above 57.28, right? So as the market moves lower, that inventory above starts moving and gets absorbed here. So you see these big chunks of volume, right? There's three. There's a distribution here, 2, 3. Yes. How do they determine the size of the rotations? It's based on the order flow, Dan. So if you have inventory, right, you will set the price according to the customers that come in, right? Seems simple enough, right? So you get a lot of customers coming in, you'll be able to raise price quite drastically, just like they did here. Do you see that? Takes a little while to get in that mentality, right? What we're doing as retail traders, right? Now, there's a lot of ways to trade retail. What I like to do is I like to take my friends and teach them how to think like a wholesaler. That way, you're not always trading in the wrong direction. And that way, you have some way of managing risk. Because if you were short and we all of a sudden you got a big buy order and you didn't have a stop there, well, by the time you get stopped out using the mental stops, right, you're going to be in some pretty big trouble. Okay. Now we're accepting back over the previous day low. So if we don't open on a gap, right, and today is month end because Monday is the last trading day of the month. What happens if we open here? Right? What happens if we open at 57.23? What about all the people who are short under 57.20? I know it's Friday. It's okay. If you open at 57.23, what happens to all these people who are short here? Everybody asks me what a trapped short is. That's a trapped short. You guys get that? There you go. Right? They're bid to cover. Thank you, Truth. Perfect. Upper stops are here at 57.31, 57.35, 37, and value area low is at 38 from yesterday, which is the bottom of yesterday's cost basis. We stopped right at VWAP. They front ran it by a couple of ticks. Let's see where we open up. Wouldn't they be out? Yeah, you're assuming that they're all retail shorts. Not everybody trades the same way M trades. There are large players in this market that would short and add to it because they have an agenda or their analyst has told them to do something. Not to say that they're going to be right. And maybe over time they'll be right, but in The shorter time frame, they're wrong, right? So there's all different time frames of traders that are trading in this market. We're creeping above VWAP. If we get above VWAP, you're looking for 32 and change right here. Almost there. There's 34. Holy cow. I tried to buy 30 just for a quick flip. I missed it. So the overnight point of control is now down here, around 27. Let's see if we can hold VWAP. If we hold 28, we'll rotate back up to 32. There's going to be a seller right there again. There it is. There they are. And what's the best way to know that the shorts are out? I'll give you guys the simplest way to know that shorts have covered. You want to know? Anyone? Bueller? No, we lose the bid. So if shorts have covered at this level, right, the buy orders will disappear and the market will drop. Right? So if I'm short here and I've covered, and everybody else is short here is covered, the buy orders there are gone. So when the market hits that level again, the market will just drop. That's how you tell when the shorts are gone, because that bid support that you get is gone. See, everybody assumes that they're massive, large buyers. You don't get massive, large buyers in the middle of a range at the top of a range. That's not how big money does business. Big money are buyers down here, right? This is the wholesale area. Down here is where wholesale buys. And then you go and you sell it up here for profit, right? That's why Walmart doesn't buy a TV for $1,000 and sell it to you for 500. Is it better to wait for a look below and trade at balance levels? Yes, definitely. Definitely. So if you were long at 29, 30 against 28 and a quarter, put some out at the 32s, make sure you get liquid because there is a seller at 32 and change, right? 32, 33. Okay. If we can clean out the 33s, the next seller will be up here, right before that standard deviation. What about buying back crash insurance for numbers? Lear, what are you talking about? Yeah, everything you see here in front of you is Sierra. Sorry, Lear, I'm not understanding what you're saying. Crash insurance. Sorry. I might be a little mentally slow this morning. Apologies. Have you slept? You were with us on the Globex session. Have you slept? Oh, okay. I see what you're talking about. Just checking. Don't want you trading like a zombie. Now I know what you're talking about. I'm like, crash insurance. Does he think he's in the plane again? You've heard of sleepwalking, right? I was just making sure you weren't sleep trading to go tell your wife to get you out of the garage and bring you back into the house. Okay, that seller at 32 is just annoying, right? Nice. Now you can get some sleep. It's always nice to make money before the open, then you can just sleep, you know. Hey, Moran, good morning. How are you? Now, do we hold VWAP? I've got a sinking suspicion that we won't. Not just yet. Yeah, take what you can, give nothing back. That's our motto in this room. Don't give it back. Oh, 28 and a quarter held again. It's always nice to know where the sellers are in a market. Then you can manage your expectations and you can manage your trades. The chart books I provide with my membership to your training are the settings for TPO in 1 minute. Yes, they are. So you'll have a chart book, Dan, and you just open it. You'll get exactly what you see here. Because the Sierra software is a little difficult, right? That's why you'll have exactly my chart book. So you'll have settings for TPO and 1 minute. You know, until you learn, until you go down the Sierra rabbit hole, right? You know, one of those nights you're up at 3 o'clock in the morning, you can't sleep, and you start playing with the Sierra settings, and you find out there's thousands of them. Uh, Look at that seller. There they are, 31 and 3/4. Look at that rat bastard. They won't let it pass. Come on, right? They're grabbing all the buy orders there, right? That's what happens when a seller doesn't move, right? They want all those buyers. They want to grab all those buy orders right there. See? And then they compete and push price down. But when they get down to 29, 28 and 3/4, right, they'll stop selling and the market will start to drift back up again. Yeah, Diana Penna's videos are really good. And, but I haven't seen her in a while. Sierra is actually older than 2 decades, TJ. Sierra was made in the 80s, 1986, if I remember. Now, as annoying as you guys find it, and there's lots of good software out there, the one thing I like about Sierra is that it's never crashed on me. It is rock solid. It does not crash. Yeah, and well done, Travis. I don't know if you're on. He might be out welding something. But well done, Travis, for getting a payout. Beautiful to see. It's not holding VWAP. See? Now, here's a little trick that I think is useful. If you're a short seller and you're a fast trader and you see that there is a constant seller, right? And they're there like a bad cough, you see? Right? First they started here and then they moved lower. And the price action is slow enough. What you can do is you can short this area here, right? You can short it and put your stop or your warning level here and your stop right there, right? It's better if VWAP's not there because you won't have those responsive bids. So that does help if VWAP's not there. So why I draw these lines is if the price action is slow, right? And we get up there and you see that there's just someone or a group of sellers just sitting there taking every buyer, right? Pounding it, pounding it, pounding it. That's where you short, put your stop above, and then put some bids underneath to cover. Right? That's called selling alongside. Now, if any of you have ever worked in the brokerage industry, that's a familiar term, selling alongside. Hey, there's Travis. There you are. Well done, man. Really well done on that. Getting paid out. See, now watch. If you look at VWAP, watch VWAP, watch 28 and a quarter. So if you're selling, right? If you're a short seller, right? And you're selling 27, 27 and a quarter, you'll be using 28 and a half as your stop. There you go. So you short 26. Oh, come on, hit me at 25, right? I shorted a few at 26 and then I'm going to cover the rest here at 24, right? That's how you tell if a seller is there, right? You work with the market. The market tells you that there's a seller there. So when you take the trade, right, where's your insurance? Your insurance is right above where that seller is. So if that seller goes away, then you know, oh God, I got to go away too, right? And we'll come right back down to that 20 and a quarter. It's a nice way of trading, and that is what we call the look above and then fail. So I leave it alone here, right? If I'm a fast trader, I can short it up here and cover here. But if I'm not, I hit it here, put my stop right at 29, and then just use the levels to cover on the way down. Well, good. Nice trade, TJ. Nice trade. Looks like it's going to be rotational today. That'd be nice. Just get some nice rotations going. And we're going to get going here pretty soon in 14 seconds. We're going to open. And we're off. Remember, if it's choppy off the open, don't worry about it. Wait for your setup, okay? There's no reason to overtrade on a Friday, okay? Let's see where we can get a rotation going. I think it would be natural to come and test the previous day low. Excuse me. See, as soon as we came to that previous day low, found some bids, but then we crashed through it. So just don't try and find the bottom and don't try and call it. Just let the market do it. It's much more relaxing that way. Underneath the previous day low, we will target the overnight low. If we rotate back up and get back over the previous day low, be careful shorting it, okay? I don't quite understand. Have the shorts covered yet? Well, they covered at 28 and they covered at 22. So, remember, these people who trade, they trade larger size, right? So if you're short 1,000 contracts, you you cover a little bit at 28, you cover some at 22, and you see selling, right? What do you do, right? Just try and get thinking that way and then put it into your trade setup. So you only take trades when a market has gone underneath a level and comes back up, which means they don't need to sell underneath that level, right? That keeps you from trying to call lows, trying to catch bottoms, all that stuff. So if you're a short seller and you got to cover size, right now I don't see a trade right now. Right? I won't trade in the middle. I try not to trade in the middle. Right? So I'm letting the market find the low. Maybe we do a look below and fail of the overnight low or a 57.05. But right now, I just leave it alone. Because my business plan only involves taking certain types of trades. That's why I don't trade in the middle of zones. especially on month end. You can get into real trouble trying to predict what's going to happen, right? If you have a large account, right, and you're used to putting positions together for larger traders, you want to build positions when you see wholesale building a position, but you also want to make sure you sell into strength, right? Because you have to sell into strength. If you don't sell into strength, your opportunity is gone, right? Now let's see if we hold yesterday's low at 57.20. You know that they're going to be sellers when we come to VWAP. Big piece of information is we didn't take out the overnight low. For some people, that's an automatic long. I wasn't fast enough, and I apologize for not calling that out. Hey, Audi kid. There's VWAP, right where that overnight point of control is. There's 28 and a quarter. We're above VWAP. Now, remember that seller that was here at 32? Let's see if they're there again. So if you are long like 27, 28, you know, sometimes you take that look, you're like, oh, that's a look below and fail. Let's go long. But that candle hasn't closed yet, right? I'm always early, right? I used to take this trade here all the time, then get stopped out, and then have it work. So I learned just to wait. Just wait. Just relax. It's Friday. No stress, right? Nice and calm. We know there's a seller here, right? We know there's that seller right there, right there. And we know there's a seller here. So just manage your expectations by knowing where the sellers are. For shorters, we are still in the front end of the move. Wait till we hit the high and then come back in and short the back end of the move, okay? So I'm still seeing sellers, 28 and a quarter, 29. See if we can clean them out. See, no, they're still there. They're still there, right? Just a big pain in the butt. Sometimes I will look for a trade in J period. J period is when inventory corrects before the close of business. And I really like the J period inventory correction. Because I like it when inventory corrects lower, then the sell orders are complete, and then I can go buy a little bit. Market moves up, let them have it. Yeah, it's 2 p.m. Eastern time is when that trade happens. No long yet. No long yet. More of a short of 28, 29. And if we stay under VWAP, look for 22 and a half. What is the logic behind the fact that today is month end and not on Monday? T plus one. T plus one refers to how equity markets settle. Because the ES is based on equities, I use equity market settlement in the industry. Today's month end. Monday is the last trading day of the month, or what I used to call market maker month end. So if you owed your brokerage firm money, right, you got to pay it today. Poopa, welcome to the room. That means you can usually find the CB. Uh, no, you can find the cost basis depending on what time frame you're trading, Poopa. So right now, if you wanted to find the cost basis here, you could just go and draw a volume profile, right? Say from that high to that low, and you'll see that your cost basis is in this area here, right? There's a big chunk of volume here. There's another big chunk of volume here. So this could be one of your balance zones. If you look, I have a ton of videos on how to find those balance zones. They're all in the JJ analysis section. So there's a balance zone here, right? You could also use this as a balance zone where those large chunks of inventory are. I know it's a bit of a foreign concept. You'll get used to it the longer you're in this room. Oh, what did I do that? I erased the wrong thing. Got a little Friday brain going on here. So Zazu, month end is for large traders who trade on credit, not us, right? Large traders who hold positions and they have what they call a prime broker. They have to square up their tab at the end of the month. That's what month end is for. That's why you'll see a lot of strange things happening around month end. Why is the market moving faster than it usually does? Because people need to get work done, Sing. No problem. Using market profile, we use the half hour. So the half hour of every, if you're using a half an hour candle, it's the top and the bottom of that candle. Edit top left click undo chart drawing. Must be there somewhere. So that seller is still there. Sorry, I was answering questions, but damn, those are nice shorts, right? That seller engages at 30, under 26, boom, straight down. So we got a nice little rotation going here, right? We've got a nice little rotation. See? Buy 16, sell 22. If you're unsure of what to do, just relax and watch. Okay? Just relax, right? A lot of people put huge amounts of pressure on themselves, right? And month end is when most traders just get destroyed. Okay? Month end is like a widowmaker because the order flow is sometimes not predictable, right? Sometimes it's very unpredictable order flow and the agenda changes because large orders are coming in, stuff like that. So it pays to just sit and watch sometimes. And I know it's hard because you think, I'm not trading, I'm not making any money. Yeah, but you're also not losing any money, right? Always want to be aware of those things, right? I've spoken to at least 10, 12 people over the last 2 days who blew evaluation accounts because they just didn't know what to do and how to conduct business at the end of the month. And you can't really, like, nobody just knows that stuff. It's not, you know, they don't teach you in high school how to deal with a month end sellout, right? Right? They just don't do that. There's that 16 to 22. Yes, you can use cost basis and inventory using a candle start. You don't need to have a TPO. I love TPO charts, but you don't have to have them. Right? They don't teach us this stuff in school. They don't teach, hey, where are the shorts trapped? You don't even know that, right? So you come into the market and they go, okay, just buy this indicator. Just do this, right? I've got a Ferrari, right? The guy's standing next to a Ferrari that's not even his. They got to do the YouTube video before the owner of the Ferrari comes out and gives them a beating. So now our rotations are getting smaller, right? Yeah, they don't even rent the Ferrari. They just use somebody else's. They're like, hey, see, that's your rotation right now. uh, you got to find that. It is funny. I mean, as long as nobody signs up for their service, it's funny. Uh, hey, I got to make you guys laugh when there's nothing going on. We've got a 16 to 22 rotation. I'm short biased. I've got to say it out loud. I'm just hyper focused on this overnight low, and I might be missing longs because of that. Right. So I'm going to say it out loud so I'm aware of it. When I'm aware of my bias, you guys can hold me accountable. If I'm short biased and this thing starts moving higher, then my short bias is wrong. And I got to snap out of it. Yes. I look at the RTH and the overnight POC separately. The overnight POC tells me how business is going compared to yesterday. Does that make sense? So the overnight POC tells me how is business doing today compared to yesterday. Do we have good distribution, bad distribution? You know, what's going on out there? See? Now, if there's no seller at 22 and a half, well, there they are, right? They showed their hand. If we get over 22 and a half, we'll go tickle that 25 and 3/4 where VWAP's hanging out. If not, we'll just rotate back down to 16 and 3/4. Man, I don't know about you guys, but by Friday, I'm starting to get a little slow execution wise. I noticed that lately. Here we go. Now let's see if we can get down to the 11s. Come on, push. Do you see when the market goes down here? And you see it really clearly on market profile. Like it'll move down and stop and reverse, move down, stop and reverse. And that chop, because there's so many buy orders just sitting there. And you don't need any special software to see that, right? You can see that by watching, see how it goes down, pops back up, goes down. Eventually, those buyers, if they see enough supply, they're going to move their buy orders down and the market will drop. Let's see if that happens. No sugar, Raj. Hey, remember, I did that 5-day fast. I can't go throw that all away by eating the way I did before. Do we have news at 10? Thanks, Matt. What's cooking for news today? What are they going to try and dazzle us with this time? Michigan? Wolverines? Hey, it's like football spring training camp, isn't it, soon? Hey, Vikas. Hello from Bangalore. Oh, cool. I've never been there. That's why my mom was born. All right, underneath 5711, coming on to the 5705s. Taking out the overnight low. Do not stand underneath that overnight low and try and buy. Okay? No, I fasted for 5 days. Oh, it's cool, Vils. Vikas, sorry. For trade in a day-to-day basis, do you recommend to look for the cost basis during today's? Uh, Really, Gerard, you could look at it any time. If you just opened your computer and you're just starting now, you can look for a cost basis now and use a rotation. Like for example, here, let me just get rid of all of this stuff here, right? If I went and hid this and say we're looking for a cost basis, I would use this, right? Back and forth, right? You can see sellers and buyers on both sides, right? And then you double it to the upside, double it to the downside. Nice trade, TJ. Well done. Okay, I see a seller at 10. Let's see if we get any follow through. Yeah. Shorting in the hole is a real pain in the butt, right? I see a seller at 10. And if you are short, make sure you put some bids down in the eights. Because if you can't cover at 8, it's going to rotate back up on you, right? Got to be a little patient. There we go. Give me some at 8.25. Thank you. And 8.5 I covered. Why would price move multiple deviations below cost basis? To get rid of your inventory, AJ. So, AJ, if you had, say, if I was your client and I gave you an order to sell 1,000 contracts and get me out of this position, right? And you go, what's your limit? And I go, and I scream at you, just get me the F out. That's why price would move multiple deviations below cost basis. Does that make sense? See, because we don't get to see what's on the other side. We don't understand, right? We don't understand the gravity of the situation. For us, it's just a bunch of numbers and stuff like that. But if AJ, if you had an order, if you were a trader, and I gave you an order to sell 1,000 contracts and get me out of this, does that make sense to you? Can you visualize that? Just get me the hell out. So you start selling. And you'll go through everybody to get me out. Does that make sense? Focus on the execution of the trade, right? You're given an order. You obey that order, or otherwise there's 1,000 other traders that will be happy to take it, right? It's just business, right? Say the client has a margin call. Something's going on, right? That's why people will go, oh, this level's got to hold. Well, if I have size to move and that level's in my way, goodbye level, right? I'm going to just destroy that level, right? Size takes preference. We did not take out 5.25. We have not taken out 4.25. Things that make you go, Now is when you need to be patient and smart, right? See what I mean now, Christian? If I have to sell size and you're in my way, well, my friend, you are getting run over, right? Like those movies where they run over somebody in the truck and they go, what was that? Just keep driving, right? Just keep driving. Don't take your foot off the gas. Because always remember, you always have somebody who is a client who is screaming in your ear and telling you that they were going to do unholy things to you and your family if you don't execute their trade in the manner in which they want done, right? This is not a genteel business, okay? Even though they try and make it sound like it, it's not. When there's a lot of money at stake, there's that 4. Took it out. Let's see if we get back up above it. Long 7. Ah, selling them at 9. Not the greatest trading I've ever done, but I'm flat. Let's see if we come back and you know what? I was sloppy. I didn't have my 4-quarter line right there. Now, the only reason I bought that 7 is because I missed it at 6. And I just flipped it out for a couple of points. Now I'm going to watch 4.25. If we can't get above 4.25, we're going to do some price exploration lower. Remember, and we told you about those stops, those lower stops. So now we're into the 8 times discount zone if we stay under 5.5, right? I would wait until we get over 12 if you're a new trader to go long. Then you'd clear out all these suckers by then, right? Be careful here because it could get choppy and fast. And remember, it's month end. You can have sellouts, right? So you can have somebody have an account sellout. Just don't get in the way of size. That's all you got to do today. Just be cool. There's going to be lots of opportunity. You got a new fresh month coming. We hold the 4s. Now remember, there's going to be sellers right here at 8, right? So you got to sell into strength, right? Long 6, selling 7.5, 7.75, 8, selling 8.5. Got 2 left, selling 8, selling 8.75, flat. Exactly, Larry. Right. The reason I took those 2 longs is 4 is my level. No, I use a mouse. I don't trade enough to use hotkeys. I used to use hotkeys on the Vancouver trading terminal, but that was 96, 97. Yes, the look below and fail, Gerard. The look below and fail. Yeah, Raj, it's a different start to this year, right? Remember we spoke about this with all those policy decisions, right? Lots of change, lots of change. How do you come up with those levels? You seem to be crazy precise on those big market profile levels. Well, if you did nothing but look at charts for 18 hours a day for at least 10 years, I bet you would come up with very precise levels. So what I've done is I made it a little easier. If you come into the room, we show you how to develop the levels, right? Right? We'd be happy to show you how to do it. It's actually really simple, right? It's funny. I was teaching people this week, and the biggest kickback I was getting from people, I'd say, okay, they do this, and do this, and be like, oh, that's too simple, right? And they'd always like, I'm like, you wanted me to make it more complicated? And they're like, and then I'm like, just watch and see, right? If it doesn't work, it does, then I'm wrong. Hey, Emu, I was wondering where you were. I think that overcomplicates it. I've tried to do that. If you, yeah, do you not like simple? Like right now, you can tell there's a seller at 5, right? You see that? Oh, okay. Well, maybe try some coffee. I'm not picking on you. I'm just saying every time I say something, you kind of pop up and you start asking really complex questions. It's really simple, brother, right? Some people don't like it simple. And that's okay, right? You gotta, whatever floats your boat. Seller's moving down, Lear. I think if we catch a seller, I'm short 99 and a quarter just on a quick little cover at 97, just on 2, right? Where's the seller, right? If you find it difficult to stimulate your brain, don't try and do it in trading because trading's a business. Maybe try and play chess, right? So I can't tell you how to complicate things and I can't teach you because most of the people I teach want to make money. They don't want to screw around, right? I don't know. Let's take a survey, right? The people who are online now, would you rather have me pontificate about stuff that's not going to make you sweet F all, or would you actually rather give me information that you can actually use to make money, right? The thing is, the market doesn't really care about your personality, right? I mean, I could go and like just say do this and maybe this will happen and it's an art not a science and you know the rain in Spain falls gently on the plain. It's useless, right? You don't have to take my advice, you right? You could do whatever you want. But I remember you told me about your little situation this week. So if you want to rectify that situation, right, and learn about risk management, you'd be kind of wise to listen to someone who knows a little bit about risk management. The more things you look at, the more complicated it's going to be, and the worse you're going to execute. Thanks, Lear. Losing that breath, eh? Nobody wants to buy this thing right now. That's okay. Got to put it on sale until we find some buyers. Right? Hey, listen, I don't poo poo anyone's style of trading. If they're making money, beautiful, right? But we have to, we have a responsibility to help people try and make money. And most people like simplicity. So I have to cater to the masses. When overnight inventory is short, we're looking for a move up. We had short overnight inventory, Assad, but we didn't have any move up. because there were sellers. Hey, Aubrey. Nice trade. We've taken all of those stops that I pointed out earlier, and we are right back into cost basis. And everybody goes, month end they're going to have the market higher, right? They're going to have the market higher. The thing is, do we have the order flow to support a higher market? Right now, we don't, unfortunately, right? We don't. Yeah, okay. When we had that liquidation 2 days ago, yesterday we had a little bit of consolidation, but it didn't hold. You know what? I don't have any. Raj, does anybody know when the last time we had a down quarter? Does anybody have that stat? It happens, you know? So I'm kind of looking for 56.75 is a level that I watched earlier on the old contract. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I was just wondering that because you brought it up. I haven't really thought about it in a while. The last time we've had a down quarter. Yeah, it's okay. The coin of bitterness is coming into that 83,400, 300 level that I've been watching. The cost basis is there. It's from 80,000 to 83,000, just in case anybody cares. Okay, a couple of years ago. Don't worry, just let the market find a bid. Don't try and stay in this. All the people that I spoke to on the phone who complained to me about blowing up evaluation accounts, you should not be doing the look below and fail now, right? You know that, right? Thanks, Truth. Much appreciated. Okay. Now you guys should know better than just be trying to buy it. I do not look at the previous weekly POC. I just don't look at it. You can if you want. Why should we not do what? Take the look below and fail? You're in a trend down. You got to have some. This is where you got to use some common sense, Cass. Right? Common sense. It's still looking. It hasn't failed yet. Would you like to be long at 56.99 when it's trading at 56.79? Don't worry about temptation, man. Get all that crap out of your head. Stick to a trade setup that makes sense in a business sense. Learn a trade setup and stick to it. Right? The market will stabilize while the sellers take a break to see if they can suck new buyers in. Right? You can see that there's a seller right here. I don't know, Fleer. This guy likes to make it complicated. Right? That's okay. Right? Don't worry about it. See how 75 reacts when we go down there and tickle it. Now, I don't look at the previous weekly POC. A lot of people in the room do. There's nothing wrong with that. If you find it helpful. And I'm posting this chart in our room. Hey, Telek, how you doing? And this is why, like, I remember people would just buy month end, you know, just buy it blindly. And then you just get flushed right out. And guys and ladies in the room, this is another reason why I'm looking at 75, because there is a fairly decent cost basis down from 75 to around 60, right? Oh, kind of, Raj. If we break 75, I've got another level at 56.54 that I'm interested in. I got one at 64 and 54. We'll see. There's 75. It should, unless there's a lot of selling competition. Good question. Price should slow when we get down to 75 or down to that cost basis. See how it's hesitated there? Right? And there's an untraded point of control down here at 56.72. Right? I am in no rush to take a long. If I miss the short, I don't care. I'll wait till the market stabilizes. And what I like to do is find a nice stabilized zone and just trade back and forth on it. Right? Then I know my boundaries. I know where my risk is. I don't have to like fart around trying to figure things out. Right? I'm watching 75. It's okay, Matt. You know, we all miss trades. Exactly, Cass. Now you're cooking with gas, right? Now you're cooking with gas, right? Right? Why would you be first to buy? No reason to be first. It's not a race. How do I overcome hesitation? By sticking to my, you got to just keep doing it, JR. I used to hesitate all the time. I used to have a huge problem with hesitation. Sometimes I still do. Because for me, it wasn't losing the money, but the embarrassment of being wrong and the embarrassment of having a bad trade. Because if I was supposed to be this institutional trader and I can do short squeezes, and when clients want me, they put me on a private plane and fly me out and all that stuff. Now I can't trade one crappy e-mini contract. So I would hesitate. I would hesitate just because I didn't want to be embarrassed, right? There's some good hesitation. There's good hesitation when you're about to do something stupid, right? But bad hesitation can be very costly. So you have to work through that. Well, it's a different kind of trading and you have to develop those skills, Cass, right? So even if you can make markets and distribute stock, take companies public, right? Shake down CEOs, hide short positions in Switzerland for a year. Retail trading is completely different. You just have to work on it. Give it yeah, give it some time, Howard. They're coming in. We only have two green candles. Let's see. Let's see. Right? We've dropped this thing on its head. Let's see how dizzy it is, okay? Remember when C period opens, we're going to have a massive set of single prints, right? If we get over 76, 77, and you happen to go long, right? So if you go long, where's your next seller going to be? It's going to be up there at 81, 82. So don't get greedy, right? And on month end, there's going to be some margin call selling. So you might just get whacked, right? See, there's a seller at 77 now. 76 and a half, I'm sorry. Exactly, right? You're going to have, look at these singles. You're going to have a huge set of singles, right? All the way down from here to wherever this thing opens in the next 5 minutes. I don't trade the NQ. I think if you trade the NQ, I think I have a lot of respect for people who do. It's a very thin market. It's not for me. We have some people in our room who trade it successfully, but they've taken their cuts, right? Oh, there's Eric. What's going on? Oh, let's take a look at the spy. There's your spy. Here's something that you might want to consider coming from an old man. Okay. For me, the the goal of a trader is to make their money before the end of the month and take month end off. I've never looked at trading YM at all. And in fact, I have very few people who even ask me about it. I never even hear about it, Jaden. The Russell, right? RTY, that used to be very popular a few years ago. Now the popularity, nobody even talks about it. Everybody's really ESNQ, and then something will get popular, and people will go, I need levels, and I'll do levels for like a month, and then they all disappear. Learning how to observe is an important skill in trading, right? Learning the business and learning how to observe, you know, yeah, we have people in our room who trade at EdQ, and they do well. Yeah, we have specific channel rooms for everyone. So we have NQ traders, oil traders, uh, crypto traders, equities, equity options, all of that stuff. Let's see if 59 and a quarter has anything for us because that's 8 times discount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I was thinking maybe oof, if we accept under 66, 57 and a half is one of my levels. 54 is another one. Yeah, back to cost basis, right? And here comes C period, which means here's where I leave you folks for the day and the weekend. I hope that you trade safely and intelligently for the rest of the day. And I would invite you to come visit us at microefutures.com. Check out the 7-day free trial. Thanks, Elsie. Still got the dad jokes going, eh? Oh, man. I think we'll have that stuff all fixed this weekend so we can get you back on voice with me. Thanks, everyone. Be safe out there, okay? And remember, don't take candy from strange market makers. Have a wonderful and safe weekend. Thanks, folks. Bye for now.